Melinda and HarperAudio Australia present this unabridged recording of Right Way Up, written by Fiona McCallum and read by Jennifer Vuletic. For Philip, the best man I know. In memory of my beloved feline friend Whiskey, who gave me 13 wonderful years of companionship and unconditional love. Chapter 1. Colin checked the clock again despite having looked at it barely 2 minutes ago. He was a little tetchy after his previous session. As usual, his relationship counselling regulars, Julia and David, hadn't seemed at all interested in anything he had to say and had spent the whole of the allocated time arguing and talking over each other. He was always surprised when he saw their names on his appointment list. After each session, he was sure they'd realise going their separate ways was the only logical solution to their ill-suited match and inability to effectively communicate. He couldn't see what, but they must think they got something useful out of their sessions, otherwise why would they waste their money in this fashion? Oh, well, that couldn't be his concern. Right now, what was of concern was that his last client for the day was already 5 minutes late. Was Andrea Carlton coming or not? He didn't know if this was the usual MO of the young woman or if something unusual had happened to delay her. This was her first appointment with him. He found himself sighing. It would perhaps be best if she didn't turn up. He was meant to be winding down his practice and retiring. Colin didn't like to let anyone down. He was pretty sure he wasn't the most competent psychologist going around, but he loved his job and did his best. The country was in the grip of a mental health crisis, so it might be he was considered better than nobody when other places had longer waiting lists. A lot of his work was for organisations recruiting and taking care of employees, but he liked to think it was a testament to him being at least appreciated by a reasonable number of individual clients, both long-term and new arrivals, that the spots available for private clients were constantly booked out. He'd never needed to do any advertising beyond having a Facebook page and a website. Suddenly rain was drumming on the roof above him. He glanced out the window of the soulless rented room at the car park outside the equally dull brick health centre. Water poured down the glass from the overflowing gutters. Lucky he hadn't already given up on this Andrea Carlton woman, or he'd have been caught in the storm on his 15-minute walk home. He glanced at the corner of the room where a collection of umbrellas usually stood in the tall ceramic vase beside the coat rack. Empty. Damn it. Umbrellas came and went. He didn't keep track of them. Clients left theirs behind, others took one. It was a revolving collection that replenished and emptied organically, with the numbers largely dependent on the season. A bit like his practice, really. Scarves tended to do a similar thing, though he always advised clients of them, left them with the office manager for collection. Scarves were more personal and revered than umbrellas, Joyce, his wife of 48 years, had told him. There was a bold knock on the door he'd left open after having checked outside it for Andrea's presence just before. He stood up to greet her. She appeared a little soddened. Wet hair, beads of water on her face and in her eyelashes, darker patches to her clothes. "I'm so sorry I'm late, The woman's voice trailed off as she shrugged a little helplessly and proceeded to twist herself out from under her handbag draped across her body by a long strap, sending a few glistening droplets flying. "It's quite all right." "God, I must look a sight. Got caught in a heavy downpour. Bloody spring! If it's not the allergies, it's the random spontaneous downpours. They're never just a light shower, are they? Always big fat drops this time of year. Sorry, I'm babbling." Colin, closing the door, seemed to act as a circuit breaker. She stopped talking and moving at the same time and stood looking at him, his desk between them. Then she put her hand to her hair. "Shit, sorry, I'm dripping all over the place too. She looked around helplessly, frowning slightly at the box of tissues on the corner of the desk. Colin pulled a carefully folded and pressed handkerchief from his pocket and handed it to her. He watched while she quickly mopped her face and then opened up the large square of linen and dragged it over her hair, front to back and then around. She then folded up the handkerchief.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?